Yo,
All right, guys. So you guys know that I did recently make an announcement that I won't be making a lot of videos on YouTube, but I will be coming back, and I haven't disappeared. And one of the main reasons I have started this channel was to create community, all the way back in 2016. And the reason for that is that I personally myself felt fairly isolated in my career because I was doing some great things, securing great placements, had great working relationships, but I didn't have a lot of people around me. I didn't really have any sort of connections to other producers that were doing what we're doing. So, one of the benefits I think of having this YouTube channel and having our community is you guys being able to meet other producers that are also going into the sync licensing business. And some of you are at the very beginning stages, like you're just discovering it and you're, diving in head first. Others of you have been at it for 5, 10, even maybe 15, 20 years, for a lot longer even than I have. But wherever you are in your journey, what makes this business really, really rewarding and enjoyable is connecting with other people that are also just as excited or crazy, however you want to call it, about sync licensing and about really pursuing this business. So I want you guys to meet Carlos Alfonso here. And Carlos is an amazing, just human being across the board. Great producer. He does hip hop, he does trap, he's got some rock in him. He's got this really cool, edgy, dark appeal. And Carlos has been in our community for many years. He was there at our first and second Sync Up events. He's been a part of our Pro Feedback platform, our Sync Academy platform. So Carlos has just been one of the sort of the rocks in our community. He's just been there for a long time, and he's just been a very, very positive, awesome producer. And one of the best things I've loved about working with you, Carlos, is you're very coachable. You can take feedback on your music, you can take even some criticism on your music, and you don't get upset about it, or at least I don't see you getting too visibly upset about it. In fact, what I've seen you do is the exact opposite. You take the criticism and the feedback and you go do the work. And you come back the next month and the next review session, and your music just gets better and better and better and better. And after all these months of reviewing your music, I've heard the difference, and I know our other pro feedback reviewers have said the same thing. And now I've definitely been seeing you posting and seeing what you've been doing, and you've just been sharing me via email. Getting accepted by library after library after library, many deals under your belt now, which is really amazing, really exciting to hear. And of course, more importantly, is placements. You're actually seeing your first placements kind of coming out. I think maybe this year was the first year you saw some of those placements coming in. And you had emailed me months ago about that first placement, and I feel guilty for now finally being able to get you on the channel. So I do apologize for that. But better late than never. So, Carlos, man, welcome to the channel finally. Thank you so much for, man, being here. Why don't we go ahead
hell
and
yeah.
get you started on, like, where were you when you first saw and heard about sync, and what was it about this industry that was really appealing and interesting to you?
What's up, Jesse? Thank you for that, man. Oh man, so it was crazy because I used to be one of those producers. I remember you said I was one of those producers where putting just sounds together, thinking that yeah, that sounds dope, that sounds cool, and I had those friends, man, that sounds dope. And I'm a big sports fan, so watching Sports Center, ESPN, I'm like, damn, man, how do they do that? I want to be in the background. I want to learn how to do that, bro. And at my second job at the grocery store, there was a customer, and he was telling me that his kid raps. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, man, he got stuff on TV, and I was like, how'd you do that? He's like, look up sync. And I immediately called my girlfriend when we met at the conference. Sync, sync, sync. Look up sync. Dude, that night I went to YouTube and I typed TV and film sync, and you're like the first one that popped up. So I was like, okay, who is this guy? Let me see what it's about. It's YouTube. I don't know who's real and stuff like that. And just hearing your tone of voice and how you talked and how you explained, I was like, man, this is my guy. And I think I emailed you like 2 days later, and you emailed me that same day. And I was like, oh shit, this is real. And you're like, this is my course, Sync Academy and stuff like that. And I joined. And then I was one of those producers that joined, got hyped, and then I fell off. I still had the subscription there, but and I was like, nah, I'm doing this, bro. Bam, got in, and ever since then it just took off. Like literally back to back. I'm not playing, I'm in this. You came up with the pro feedback, I signed up. Bam, got the criticism, and I was like, okay, well, I wasn't getting mad actually. I was like, this is coming from pros, and this is what I need to do, you know? And I got with it, bro, and back to back. That's why I show up every Saturday, every month, got your plays, and I took to it. I just didn't just listen to it, be like, okay, cool. No, I have my other laptop here with me, and I'll go back and I'm like, okay. And then bam, listening to you, then I heard Trevor, Scott, yeah, Rick Scott, Todd, Anthony, every single one giving me pointers and pointers. And then that'll prepare me for your personal feedback on the review, because I'll take their lessons and like bam, and then sure enough, you'll be approving them, approving them, approving them. And then I was ready to pitch little by little. Going to the first conference, pitching, getting with Ben Yo, big help. Big shout out to Ben, man. Thank you, Ben. Um, Getting with Mark, Lambert, Sir Fonkalot. What's up, Mark? And shaking hands, going up to Eric, to Sonic Librarian after the conference, not just going up to the podium and asking questions. Right after that, I went, shook my hand and said, man, nice to meet you, man. I love your company, man. And we went from there. 2 weeks later, had some songs, got with Mark to drop some guitar riffs. And Mark was happy, he's excited, very motivated, and hyped dude, just like me. He's like, let's do it. Got the songs together, pitched it to Eric, and Eric said, yo, these are hot. Let's go. And we went from there, bro. That was in November last year that I got it submitted. And bam, January, got my first out of nowhere, uploaded into TuneSat. And I see, no, got an email from Eric. Hey man, we got one where it's the show Survivor promo. I'm like, what? I'm like, get out of here, man. This is crazy. I told Mark, dude, that's the next week. I guess it was Fridays back to back. 3 placements back to back, Jesse. Back to back. I got another email from him, bro. Hey man, we're on the road. We're on the road. So I was like, what? This is crazy, man. And then from there, bro, kept up with Eric, asked him, anything you need, E, we're here. Let's do it. I'm excited for this year. Let's keep rocking. He's like, I got you, Carlos. No worry. We're gonna make something happen. And sure enough, man, he's called me on for 2, 3 projects with Mark. It's been going from there, Jesse, and then still continuing the path with my hip hop stuff. Still showing up to pro feedback. Like enough, no time to park. It's only to get better, you know? Now I got with Ethan. Ethan hit me up on pro feedback. He's like, yo, man, I like how you work and I love how Ethan works. He's a pro. Shout out to Ethan. What's up, brother? And ever since then, man, it's been, like not just music. Yo, what's up, man? How's your day going? It's been a vibe. Same thing with Ben. Good morning, Ben, every day, And then you were telling us big on vocals. And then at the conference, I got with Buddy Bangs, shout out Buddy Bangs. And he's loved my tracks. And he's like, man, let's do it, Los. And it's the vibe, it's the circle, bro. And it's collaboration is key. It really is, Jesse. I love my instrumentals, but now I even love when I hear vocals on my tracks. Because it's just another layer, another depth. Like, damn, boy. And then you got these writers that's like, man, like I told Buddy, I was like, man, you remind me of an athlete. He writes like an athlete on a pencil and pad, but on the field. That same execution and action, that go mentality, straight sports talk. And it's been going from there, Jesse, and showing up to the different CEOs once a month. You had that. Trevor liked my music. Bam, got released with that, with Get It Done. And then now with Future Hits, and I'm still circling around to go to Epic. I submitted another instrumental tracks to Epic, waiting to hear from them. So it's a nonstop, man, and consistency. And what I've learned, Jesse, that like you said too, not enough is just not enough. That once in a while crap ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't. I'm serious. It's a hustle. It's real, bro. You may not make good shots one day, but you show up every day. And I was telling that to Ben as well. And buddy, we all talk about that, man. And you know how Ben works. That once in a while, and today I don't feel like doing it. It's not gonna work in this game. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a beginner. And I'm still learning as I go. It's an everyday thing, bro. It's an everyday thing. Even if you put 20 minutes in a day, it's an everyday thing. Like I call it, it's my office now. It's my room, and I work out in here, but it's my office where if I'm not creating, I'm researching a library. If I'm not doing that, I'm in sync match, listening to the reference tracks. If I'm not doing that, I'm emailing or I'm creating or I'm looking at something that's you have time. We have time to do so. We have time. Um, Now I'm working with another rapper. Shout out J Matt. Me and Ethan are working with him. And you heard the country stuff I'm doing. So lately I've been hearing the briefs that he's getting from his library. So once I'm done with that project, I'll go right back to my sports stuff, right back into Sync Match and recreate again. I already offered AJ, ready for round 2? He goes, yeah, let's get these going. Whatever you need, AJ, I'm here. So keeping that communication, man, it's a awesome journey, bro. I'm actually enjoying it, having fun, like you said. I really am. Really am, bro. There is highs and lows, but I make sure I keep that mentality of highs, And like you said, submit and let go. it really is that vibe, man. And that's where I'm at, Jesse.
That's
I'm really
awesome,
having fun.
man. You can we can
Enjoying.
feel your energy. That just you're living your best life right now. We can see it, and that's what I think is so beautiful about the collaboration, all of the
Yeah.
collaborations you've done, and I really really love seeing those, hearing those when you guys in the community are just chopping it up together and figuring out ways. Because not only does that make it more enjoyable, like you said, you get to combine your talents with somebody else's, and it's like it's not like
Yeah.
it's twice as better. It's 10 times as better. It's 20 times as better.
Big
Like it's
time.
music you couldn't have ever composed or put together yourself. But on top of that, you're also getting yourself into new library opportunities as a result of these collaborations. So you expand your network, you expand your distribution that way. And, I know somebody might be watching this going, well, that must be nice for you, Carlos. I'm happy for you. You got all these placements, you got all this stuff going on, you got all this momentum in your career. But I want you guys to take a moment just to appreciate, though. You probably don't know, obviously, as much as I do about Carlos. Carlos, you signed up and joined us at that first Sync Up event in 2023. I don't think you had any acceptance deals, right? No placements
No placements, but we got accepted. Me and Ben got accepted with Perry and Epic,
after
and
that,
that took
though.
after
Yeah. So
okay,
at
so
the
two
at the
months
event, though, you had nothing.
nothing,
Nothing.
nothing,
And I remember that
Jesse.
was when I first met you. You'd been in the community
Yeah,
for a while, but it was the first time I met a lot of you guys. And basically, yeah, still feeling probably like an outsider, not quite in there, not didn't have a deal yet. And I remember you had a little card in your wallet, and I'm sure you still got it. I knew you'd
bro.
have it. And could you read that real quick for us, because this was something that was like a
Absolutely.
big highlight of that entire event. It's why I still remember it now, and I think it actually is the key to your success. Above, yeah, you have talent, you've got great skills, you've got great equipment, great samples you're working with. Those are all given. But this is actually what separates you. And I want you to read that real quick, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. I read this every time before my sessions. Every time, Jesse. So I want to be a successful sync licensing producer. Action. Ask, and it shall be given. You seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asks it receives it, and he that seeks it finds it. And for him to and then to him that knocks it, it shall be open. So after I say that, I say, and I shall keep knocking, and I start my shit. You know what I'm saying? So this
Crazy,
really
man.
works, man. Really works.
I think everybody should really re-listen to that, and maybe invoke your own language, whatever makes sense for you. But like the fact that that's sort of like a prayer, that's sort of a mantra, that's an affirmation, whatever you want to call it. There is something in the fact that Carlos says you've intentionally carved out space in your life for this, this belief, and really into this like positive affirmation of like, this is what I want, this is what I'm asking from the universe, and this is what we're doing today. And
That's
it's
right.
just like a moment to kind of keep you centered back on what your actual priorities are. And there's something to that, and I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody could scientifically prove that there's something that's pulling success your way by doing that. But I've just seen it countless times work for the producers that do things like this. For it to just there's something to it, and I don't know what it is, but I've seen it work too many times. And so I think what's really beautiful about what you're doing and what you've done is the fact that you have valued yourself that high, and you've also placed that much trust in yourself, because really, I'm glad that you have, friends, family around you that really believe in you and are supporting you. But really, this is like an internal battle that we go through, right? Where like we sometimes go to these places of like, do I really have what it takes? There's another rejection, there's an ignored email. Man, when are these placements going to come in? And so we have this internal dialogue of like, do I really have faith in myself? Do I really believe in myself to actually do this? And I think it's just honest that some days we don't. Like some days we're not feeling like our best, right? Some days we didn't get a good night's sleep, and we didn't make a great beat, and we're not feeling it, right? And so I think what you're doing though is you're programming your mind to be in an automatic state of, as often as possible, yes, I can do this, and I'm going to do this. And not every day is going to be the best, but I'm going to basically put myself into a habit of like just showing up, right? As you said, every single day. So I'm curious, have you have shared this with the other producers, composers, vocalists you've worked with? Do you notice if anybody else does something similar, or do you notice everybody kind of has their own way of dealing with this kind of internal conflict?
They have their own way. I haven't shared it to none of the boys. Ben, yes, I have. But not to Ethan and all that. They all have their own way of getting in, but they're consistently showing up. They have that same mentality, man. That same driven. What's up? We doing this. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, like And I admire them, man. Thank you guys. Talking to y'all boys, y'all know who y'all at, man. For real, for real, for real. And but yeah, Jesse, nah, that's I'm pretty sure they got their own motivating way to get in, but you know, is how I get that blood flowing going and we drilling. You
That's
know, I'm a man of faith, and I consistently listen to motivational videos like day in and day out, like crazy. You know what I'm saying? If it's not that, it's reference tracks. Like while I'm at work, I'm listening to the same. Like it could be boring to some people, but that's what you're supposed to listen to all day. So when them days of doubt or something like that comes in, you say nope. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of being your own hype man. You know, speaking up into yourself. You know, drill. Let's go. We got this, Carlos. You know, and that's what really, you know, top notch myself all the time. Like nope, let's go again, again, again. I feel bad sometimes. Hey, well, go lift weights. Go walk. Take a walk. Excuse me. Take a walk around the park. Don't go back to like the old Carlos where I ain't feeling this, man. Well, yo, what's up, man? What you doing? Let's go get a drink. Like, no, no, no. I even got my friend told me to even get and it's true. I got a coloring book. I only colored one page, but it kept me in the creative mindset. So if it doesn't work out, I could, you know, draw whatever, go take a walk right quick. And then bam, out of nowhere, a badass beat pattern might come in. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to, it's not working now. That's okay. Change it up a little bit. Go for a bike ride. Do something. Move to get bring out the blood flow in the brain. Movement. You know, don't just sit there and be like, down. Nah, man. You know, pick yourself up. So I'm literally, this is real, Jesse. Like, there's times I'm like, is this burnout? And like, nah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Go listen to something else. Go research a library. Go do something. It's real, bro. And then it gets out of their head.
That's awesome, man.
It
I
gets
believe in that
out of
too.
your
I
head.
think movement is the cure for most problems. It's just moving around,
Yeah,
even if it's just aimlessly, like you said, wandering, just getting some
yeah.
sunshine and moving your body, the blood moving. 10, 20 minutes, you feel different. It's just your brain and your
It's
body are
true.
all connected. And you're right, you get stagnant with that creative energy, and the body just needs to move. And there's something to
Yeah.
that. So, going back to the early days, a couple years back, of you sort of like taking your first couple of stabs at making beats, making tracks, and thinking like, hey, maybe I got something to offer the single licensing business. Fast forward to now, what are some of the bigger changes in terms of your creative approach? Like, what were you doing back then that you would never do now, or what are you doing now that you never were doing back then? Like, what are the biggest lessons you've learned in terms of the actual like open up your session, starting a brand new track? What are the sort of tips you can give for somebody who's maybe fairly new to their journey?
I wasn't using the right samples. No, first, no. I wasn't using reference tracks. Guilty, Jesse. You could tell in the beginning. I wasn't using it. I was like, I got this. I could do this. Give me these sounds. I was using the wrong libraries until I got checked a couple of times from Trevor. Thank you, Trevor. Yo, wrong strings. Wrong this, wrong that. Um, my structures, everything. Again, no reference track. I was just shooting blindly. Um, Again with the samples, not finishing. Big one, not finishing. I will start something. Nah, all right, keep it going. Nah, like you said, a pro finishes, and that's true. Um, that was honestly, that was that. That was that. And then once a while, oh, cool, I made a cool beat. I won't touch my keyboard for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm making like 3 or 4 tracks a week. No bullshit, Jesse. You know? Stuff like that, man, is my speed. And I got templates now as far as the mixing. I'm still getting better at the mixing. You know, Mark will point out something to me with the mixing. Ethan will teach me something with the mixing, excuse me. You will say something with the Profac mixing. So it's a nonstop learning thing. It really is, man. You never stop learning, but you got to put the action behind it, you know? So that was that for sure. Reference tracks is it's true. It's true. I've saved like an hour now, knowing, it gives me ideas what I'm gonna do at the bridge, knowing ideas I'm gonna do with the transitions, knowing that, So big time, man. Use your reference tracks, like you always say, Jesse, and it's true. It's true. It really is. I can't wait to go back into the sports vibe where I could get stuff from the sync match because I'm gonna really step up even more, bigger and bolder.
Yeah, and that's, for those of you that are not maybe familiar with what he means by reference tracks, he means tracks from a production music library in your particular style that you want to potentially make. And yes, if you're using the app Sync Match, you basically get to have access to the tracks that get placed. So if you just go to a library's website, there's thousands of tracks to choose from. You might like some of them more than others, but it's not always clear which ones are getting placed. But with Sync Match, you actually do get that confirmation of like, if it's on the app, it got placed. Some of them more than others, but you at least have have that confirmation that the market has approved this. They've actually used it. And, it's one of those things where I did use reference tracks early in my career, but I didn't have an app like Sync Match, so I wasn't always sure which tracks I should be emulated in terms of the ones that are being used the most. And so that's what I think is different. And I'm so glad that you're using the app. I'm so glad you're listening to that music, because I constantly tell everybody this, that like, if you just listen to the music, that's all you did. You never even uploaded a track to get your matches. You never did any of that kind of stuff. But you just spent a consistent amount of time, like you said, on your commute, at work, whatever, if you're allowed to, and you're just listening to music that's proven, that gets placed, it's on the air, and it's in your style. It's like this genre that you really want to focus on. You are 10,000% further along the line than I ever was early in my career, because, I turned on the TV once in a while and heard something, and I'm like, that's kind of like my style. Okay, maybe I could try this. But it was such a crapshoot, and it's like, who's going to go spend hours, hundreds of hours listening and watching all different types of content that I didn't want to watch just to hear the music? It's like, it's impossible. So I think this is such a valuable tool for all of you guys that really want to make sure that your music is fitting in with the current market demand. So that's awesome to hear that you're actually using it for exactly that, which is great, man. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up with any advice you would want to give. Let's say that a younger, Carlos was watching this, brand new to sync, maybe even hasn't even started, hasn't even hit that first note yet, hasn't even done research yet, hasn't signed up for Sync Match, like doesn't know anything about anything. What would you maybe want to have known before you began your journey that would have made your life easier, more bearable, or just set your expectations in a more proper place from day one?
One for sure, believing in yourself. Believing in yourself, man. We doubt ourselves, man. We don't is believe in yourself, research, and go. Like, take actions, man. Take the risk. If I would have never went to the conference the first year, I asked my girl, I was like, man, I'm gonna meet him and I'm gonna get this right. You gotta take actions. You gotta show up to whatever industry you're in, wherever there's a conference, reach out to people. If you don't know what an EQ is, ask what an EQ is. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask. Don't be scared to ask. I had a friend that's 10, 15 years younger than me. He's a badass, man. I told him, what's Ableton? Real shit. What's Ableton? What could I do? What's the software? I knew about the Garage Band, of course, Pro Tools and stuff like that. I used to go to the studios, and pay hundreds. And I would never forget when you kept saying that, paying hundreds of dollars to engineers, man, to get it right. And there was one time, I'm sorry, really quick, where you noticed my drums were different. You're like, Carlos, who did your drums? And I was like, that's it. I'm not doing that no more. I appreciate the studio. Thank you. I need to learn this. I need to learn how to mix. I need to learn how to, make my shit really punch out and stuff like that. Um, I'm sorry, go back to that. But yeah, taking the risk and going, put the action. Don't just sit and dwell on it. I write things down. Don't be scared to ask questions. If somebody wants to teach you and they care, they want to learn, they'll teach you. Cool. If not, all right, keep it moving. Ask somebody else. A lot of research, man. Um, yeah, man. It's just actions, actions, action, Jesse. What else, bro? Sorry, I get
No,
shy.
man, that's beautiful. And obviously persistence, as you can tell,
Yeah,
because
man.
you just
Consistent,
were
man.
working.
Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And I eliminated a lot of stuff. So I'm in Miami. So going out here, it's party city.
Yeah.
I came from that era, man, where it's like creating, hey man, we're going out tonight. All right. And leave my shit like, no. And more when I started seeing progress, when I started seeing your thumbs up, Trevor's thumbs up. Yo, man, we going out. I can't, sorry, can't do it. How am I going to be with Get It Done or Sonic Liberian or Epic Music LA if I'm doing one track a month? It's not going to happen. Then the next man catches up to you. You know, um, it's a lot of sacrifice. It really is. I make time. I make time now to go see my sister, go chill with the girlfriend, work. So there is time. It's what you're doing with your time. You know, and yeah, man, I got a routine, bro. Listen to positivity, read, reference tracks is again the routine. It's all in the routine for sure, for sure. And having that dog mentality, I'm doing this. Can't nothing stop me, and I'm doing this. You're gonna get distractions. You're gonna get distractions from your family. Hey man, we doing this party time. No, and I've learned to work. I've created my own deadlines. Everything you've taught us, Jesse, real shit, bro. I've been doing it. Create a deadline with myself. Why? Because I got tested with Eric from Sonic Liberian with a deadline. Got with Mark, got with Ethan, got with the Spanish rapper, and we did it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Ethan. Thank you, Mark. We did it. Hey, man, Eric, once it's done by this, I got tested. And thank God for pretending I've had deadlines where that time came through. It wasn't no, what if I,
Yep.
no, it was, let's go. Let's go. We got this. So stuff like that, man. And working with men and women that want it, that are real, man about their word. This is a word thing, man. Like you can't be faking on nobody like that. You know what I'm saying? You really can't, bro. And I'm not on that. You know, if I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. Um, yeah, man. Having each other's word, bro, with that same drive, let's go. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. And it just takes bricks by bricks, steps by steps, steps by steps. Get better and better and better and better. It's crazy, Jesse. Look at that. Oh, it's been what, 7 years, man, rocking with you. And I'm still learning, I'm still going, and I'm keeping that drive alive. But it's possible. It really is, bro. It
Yeah, and
really
you got the
is, man.
results now. So that's what's so
Yeah.
beautiful about kind of like your journey so far. And you're just at the beginning stages of all this. But
Yeah.
to go from and just to see you, just to develop and grow all these years and to see you go from like you said, just throwing stuff out, kind of just trying to do it yourself to go like, oh, okay. And each one of these little fixes you made in your approach were like these tiny little 1 to 5% fixes, like tweaking your mix a little bit. Okay. Using reference
Wow.
tracks, working on the structure, changing it's like every week you were just taking these little tiny steps forward and little progressing, but that compounds after years of doing that. And that's what I
Right.
think you're starting to see now is like it's hard to see that because if you don't see the placements yet, you're like, man, I'm doing a lot of work, but where's the results? But the results come as a result of all that compounding benefit and that improvement that you've been basically putting in all these years. So we love to hear these stories, man. We're all wishing you even more success, more placements, more acceptance deals, which I have no doubt are in your future, man. You have a very bright future. And the last thing, you reminded me something when you were talking about, buddies calling you and wanting to go out. I remember in my 20s, because I was, I'd go out Friday, Saturday night, pretty much every weekend, right? Spend 50 to $100 drinking, you know,
Easy.
being hungover the next day. Usually Sundays were kind of a waste because I was just hungover. And I remember at that time in my life, even though I was doing sync and I was doing some stuff, I always thought like, man, I can't imagine somebody not spending their Saturday or Friday night at a bar, drinking, having a good time and partying. Like those losers that aren't at the bar on Friday and Saturday night, what are they doing with their lives? This is the only thing you could do. I always just felt like it'd be so weird to not do this on a Friday and Saturday night. And now, quite a few years later, I'm like, I can't imagine going to a bar on a Friday or Saturday night. Like, who would want to go do that? Like, this is way more enjoyable. This is way more fun. So it's so funny how your perspective, definitely with age, completely
Right.
shifts all the way around. And I'm so glad to see that you've created that kind of new expectation for yourself of like, it's not doesn't mean that we have to push our friends away, but it's like there's certain productive ways to conduct ourselves. And if we want to have, it's like it's just a choice. Like if you want a certain kind of future, that means that we got to make certain choices today that will compound into our future reality, right? And so I think you're obviously
Thanks.
doing that, man. So if you guys want to reach out to Carlos, learn more about him, if you want to potentially maybe collaborate and submit some of your tracks, or if you're a library and you're interested in maybe working with Carlos, I'll put his links below. He's got some social media and a website link below. You guys could go check it out. And Carlos, man, thank you so much for your time today, man. Congrats on all the success and many more amazing, hopeful wins. Not even hopeful, or guaranteed wins, I know are coming your way very, very soon, man. So keep it up.
Thank you, Jesse, man. Appreciate you, brother. For real. Bye, guys.